What's up, guys? What up? What's up, guys? Fun fact, we used to do a podcast called The Courtesy Laugh, and then we all met up in Nashville and did like a live recording because we were all from different states. And we did a slap bet, and we made a video of it, and it's on the internet, and it's where I slap a guy because he loses. No, I popped him. I popped him good, and it gets views still. It's like slap face bet or something. I don't know. Welcome to the 90s Win with Retro Rick and Regular Tyler.
Throwback Tyler.
Throwback Tyler. That's not my name. My name's Tyler Tarver. You can check me out on the Instagrams if you want.
So what's happening is Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell is turning 30 years old. August 20th. Okay. That's crazy.
That's wild.
Like the try not to feel old challenges. I saw one that was like, if they made a show right now that was set, like if they made that 70s show and it was set today, it would be 1998.
Oh, it was like that's how long ago it was from when the premiere.
Like when they premiered it.
98. That was a year until the greatest year of the history of mankind, 1999.
Yeah.
Did you know that? That's the best year that ever was.
Wow. How can they know that?
Because we just said it. We have
how can we know that?
He said, how can they know that? Because we just said it, Rick. Goodness gracious. Saved by the Bell. First, I'm going to start with this. Who was your favorite?
I mean, I'm happily married now, and I love her so much, but I was, like, obsessed with Kelly Kapowski.
As we all should be. As we all should be.
But, I mean, my favorite. I mean, everybody on the show was, like, just kind of likable. Screech was Screech. Yeah. Slater was you know, whatever, too broy, and then Zach was...
Well, I love how he sat in chairs backwards. Like, he was always like, hey, what's up, guys? He would go out of his way to flip the chair around,
it's like not
show
even
his biceps.
It's like not even a chair you can do that. It's got, like, edges on it.
He's
like,
turning the booth around.
He's making it work. I think isn't it funny? Me and my wife were saying this. We're rewatching Boy Meets World right now.
Oh, my goodness. That's incredible.
Isn't it funny, like, every show back then had to have the food spot. Yeah. Like the Max.
Yeah, it's like the Central Perk from Friends. Like it's their location.
The Max.
It's the setup.
Honker Burger from Doug. I know it's a little
And you only
different.
saw one side of the place. Like you never got to see because the cameras were all set up there. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're only getting one view of the place they are.
I know.
And so the Max, and then the creepy Max guy that ran it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, okay, so my favorite was Zach, because he was the cool guy, okay? He was the main character. But have you watched the YouTube...
Time Out! Because of the show.
Oh.
He did that Time Out thing.
I thought he said Freeze.
Like,
he was like, I'm Mr. Freeze.
No, dude.
Maybe I'm thinking of Batman and Robin. I'm sorry.
Keep going.
So, have you seen the YouTube show? It's called Zack Morris is Trash. Zack Morris is Trash. I sent that to you, didn't I?
I've seen it because you said it.
Yes, it's inappropriate, so don't watch it. You shouldn't watch it. It's family friendly. And so, but it is...
The first thing you came up with Zack Morris is Trash. I'm probably...
Because it's incredible. Like, they take an episode and they break down how awful of a person Zack Morris was. And... he was pretty awful. Like, it talks about him, like, lying to people, manipulating. And, like, when you're a kid and you're watching the show, you're like, oh, my goodness, they're going to try to get away with stealing a car. But then when you watch it, you're like, as an adult, you're like, he is absolute garbage, and I would never want my kids to be around him. And we're supposed to think he's cool. And he does mean stuff to, like, his friends. Like, he was awful to Screech. No wonder he
But he's your favorite.
He was when I was a kid.
Listen.
Because he had great hair.
Zach. I've been looking all over for you. Time out!
I did too, time out. I did it. That's what I said. I said time out, and you were like, it's Freeze.
Just meant to get a car. If I don't find a way out.
Anyway.
And doesn't he put a piece of paper between Kelly and that guy?
My life at Bayside is over.
If so.
Yep. Yeah. I nailed it. Boom, and he punches Mr. Belding. That would get you expelled. Like, you would be kicked out of school if you punched and you can't be like, I was trying to punch a kid. That's still bad. Like, I've been a principal before. I've broken up fights. Like, you can't do that. So, your favorite was, you said Screech was your favorite?
No, I said Kelly.
Oh, my bad.
I said Kelly was.
Sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah, well, it was a small cast, honestly. It was like, there's like 5 of them, 6 of them.
Yeah.
Did you know that the show didn't start off?
As Saved by the Bell. Yeah. I was about to ask you. Yeah. It was like about a teacher.
Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
Good Morning, Miss Bliss.
She was the Parent Trap. She was in the Parent Trap. She's the main actress.
That's right.
The Parent Trap, and her name was Miss Bliss.
Trap, not the Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah,
the old one.
I don't think I don't know if they classify that as Saved by the Bell. I feel like they do.
Yeah, they do. It's on season 1. If you watch Saved by the Bell, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but when it was, or
they classified it as
season 1, and it's so weird because like Saved by the Bell, the music's like upbeat because it's kid stuff, but season 1 it would like she's like going through like I'm an adult like trying to figure things out, or I'm looking for relationships, and they play like this music in the background.
Yeah, very like 80s music, late 80s music. Well, I think what happened was they made the first. That might have been 2 seasons, honestly. Maybe it was 1 season.
It was 1.
But it was like
I'll stand by that.
They understood, or they really thought through it, and they're like, okay, what's gonna the longevity of this show? Is it gonna be based on this teacher, or is it gonna be based more on her students? And that's where it shifted. So it shifted over to
because it had all those same it had almost all. Slater switched out with that other kid.
These 2 kids, those 2 good, yeah.
So it was Kelly and Slater switched out.
Yeah.
Wait, is that what's her name? Jessie?
No, that's the teacher. That's Miss Bliss.
Oh, that's
Miss Bliss.
They got the same hair. All that 90s hair makes them all look the same.
Did you watch the Saved by the Bell skit on Fallon when they all came back?
Yes.
That one was killer.
Yeah, it was incredible.
They nailed that one.
They had but they didn't have Screech because remember he wrote this like tell-all thing where he like
they didn't invite
exposed him. I know. They didn't want him part of it. Now, I've heard that a couple of them have gotten back with him, but like a lot of them were like saying he lied and I don't know. He was trying. Now Screech came back and said he was being manipulated and all this other stuff. And
Screech, he's had it pretty rough.
He's had up and down.
He had it rough on the
Whenever
show.
he did that celebrity boxing, I think is where he really started going downhill. Because he was on the remake. The one came back. He was like he helped Mr. Belding with the new class.
Oh yeah.
He was on the show, and so you think he's the one that's still.
Dude, yeah, they had like additional spin-offs from there because they had college, and I think there was another one too.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they did like a movie or something where Kelly and Zach got married, and then they did Son-in-Law, which was a movie with Pauly Shore that had the actress who played Kelly.
He's in this.
He's in this. Pauly Shore. Yeah, he's in Goofy.
Leaning Tower of Cheesa.
Cheesa. I remember I quoted that way too much. Yeah. Way more than anybody would want me to quote it.
What's the principal's name?
Mr. Belding?
Mesa, what's up? What's up,
quoting Goofy?
Bro?
Goofy
I'm quoting this.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember it. Yeah. I remember that one because you said it, but that's it. But Goofy movie used to be my favorite.
We're watching a Goofy movie right now. Everybody watch the podcast. Listen to the podcast.
Fun fact, how many
fun facts you have? Dang,
I've
man.
got so many fun facts, you could fill a trivia book with it. A joke book with my fun facts. Fun fact, Rick, you're going to hear it because this is a co-podcast. I want to swipe up the movie. All right? So, I forgot my fun fact. Oh, no. There was a time in my life where if you asked me, I'm the same human being, not a different human. I was just younger. I was newer to the world. If you asked me, did I spit on you?
No, I got this on me.
I'm really excited. If you asked me, hey, Tyler, what's your favorite movie? I would have said, Goofy movie. I would have said that was my favorite movie.
Really?
There was also a multi-year span in the junior high years where if you asked me, hey, Tyler, what's your favorite movie? I would have said Biodome. Yeah.
Whoa.
There was a time for multiple years where Biodome was my favorite movie, if you ask me. 2 Pauly Shore movies have made it into my number 1 ranking.
Whew.
Do you think
Son-in-Law didn't make it?
Huh?
Not your favorite.
Sandlot. It was top
not
for
Sandlot,
sure.
I said Son-in-Law.
Son-in-Law? No, it was too grown up for me as a kid.
Yes, me too.
But Biodome, that was right on my level.
What was the first grown-up movie you watched?
That I was supposed to?
Yeah, that you were supposed to.
Cable Guy. Remember that with Jim Carrey?
Oh, yeah.
It was PG-13.
Yeah, of course I remember that. I just did some weird...
That's pretty much terrifying to me. Like I had no idea that was about to happen. And it was it was great, but awful at the same time. It was so good. No, my mom said you can't watch it because she called it a dark comedy. And... but I love Jim Carrey because like The Mask and Ace Ventura and all the other ones. And then like they weren't at home and I watched it.
The Mask.
I told my dad and he told my mom.
The Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber.
All
came out within 6 months of each other in 1994. No. They were all his first 3 movies. And he first came out with Ace Ventura. And they
weren't his first 3. He had one called Rubberhead. That came out that nobody saw.
They were the one, I'm saying those were the ones that like put him on the map.
Yes, no doubt. Like, and they were all like bam, bam, bam.
And what was crazy about like Ace Ventura is a weird freaking movie.
Yes.
It's like that was either gonna like this is who he is. He's hilarious, weird but hilarious, or like this guy needs to get out of here.
Yeah, he's too much. Chill out.
And it like went, man.
Yeah,
it went
because he was Fire Marshal Bill on In Living Color, And that was kind of where he got his big start.
Yeah.
And then he got into those movies.
Those
I did not know they all came out
films.
within 6 months of each
They
other.
were all in 94, like all right.
And those are
together.
like three. I would say the one that's lasted the best is Dumb and Dumber. That's become the most iconic. Second is Ace Ventura, and then The Mask is third. But do you remember who got their start on besides Jim Carrey, got their big break on The Mask?
I mean, Cameron Diaz?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz, who became like a formidable superstar.
Yeah, she was super young. I think she was like 21, 22 years old.
Yeah, she was super young. And then it's like he dated, and he like almost married or did marry like every leading actress from like 2 of the 3 movies. So it's like the redheaded chick from Dumb and Dumber. The one that he dated her for a while, Laura, something like that.
Okay.
He dated or married her. I think he married her and had a kid. And then Cameron Diaz he dated. And then what was the other one that we said? Ace Ventura? I don't know who the main person Ace Ventura was. But he probably dated her too. Wow. Wow, Jim Carrey. It was a good run for Jim Carrey in the mid-90s.
Yeah. What, so you did like you like Saved by the Bell? Like,
oh, the topic we're talking about?
Yeah, you did like it.
We're not talking about Jim Carrey? I loved it. When I was a kid, I absolutely loved Saved by the Bell. What about you?
Yeah, I watched it, but you're two whole years older than me. And that's a big deal. In that time, it's a big deal.
I would agree.
I watched that.
It's the difference between liking Friends and Seinfeld.
I had this fan. I'm like a huge The Savage Brothers fans.
Oh yeah,
I
Ben
love
Savage
and Fred Savage.
So like
I watched
Bride.
Wonder Years. I watched the Wonder Years growing up with my dad.
I did.
But like the first real I say adult, not adult, like kid. You know, like I feel like I'm that person. I'm like living through these people. Was Boy Meets World. So I watched Saved by the Bell, but it was a little bit later, in life. I don't know. I was probably like 15, 16 when I really started watching Saved by the Bell. The thing I don't like about Saved by the Bell, though, is I can't stand how over the top they are everything. Like, it's like, this episode is about cheerleading. Kelly Kapowski is the captain of the cheerleading squad. This episode is about music. Zack Attack. Like, that stuff bugged me now, like, watching it. Because I get that was a theme. It's like every single
episode.
Every single episode is
like we're in the championship basketball game, and you watch them play, and you're like, none of those people can play basketball. And they're like in the championship shooting it on like a 8-foot court.
Well, and AC Slater's the team captain. Like, that's what would happen in wrestling.
Well, here's the deal, man. It's the same with Boy Meets World. The reason all the main characters are always either valedictorian or captains, there's only 9 people in their class. Like, you look at their classroom setup, there's 8 to 10 desks, and 6 of the 8 people in there are main characters. So it's like, it's pretty much homeschool. They have one hallway that you see. You've never seen any other hallway in Saved by the Bell. You've seen one classroom. Yeah. I would argue that their parents are just a little bit wealthy, and it was like a organized subdivision homeschool. Like, so of course you're going to be the valedictorian, the team of captain of all the squads, and the lead music person if you're like homeschooled.
I know we always like to talk about like trends, and like there was a shift even in that TV because we're talking about 89 and 93.
Yeah,
literally, I think 93 is when Boy Meets World came out. Like, look at the shift of what happened from that show. Like, what I like about Boy Meets World is you cannot get any more mediocre than Corey.
Corey. He was,
you know what I mean?
Middle
it's like,
road.
And he's the main person. What a shift of like how
heroes.
It was. I don't know. I like that more. Maybe just because it was more relatable.
No, and that's the thing. I can relate more with Corey, the guy who doesn't know how to talk to girls, and just kind of middle of the road on everything. Tries, sometimes doesn't. The family dynamic, as opposed to like Zach, who can freeze time by saying time out. Like
everything, yeah.
Yeah, and he's the best at everything, and his hair is always flawless, even in the middle, at the end of a championship basketball game, he doesn't look sweaty. And so it's like, you don't, I don't know. I think that the relatability is big, because now you look at TV shows, and it's like with kids, they're always trying to like, it's almost like they're marketing towards like the kid that's not noticed. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that? Like a ton of like shows and movies is like the main character is just like somebody who's floating through, and they're seeing the Zack Morrises be successful, and it's like they're trying to relate to the real world. I think that is the shift.
And what's happening too is though the person that maybe is the star or is the valedictorian is like getting something out of it too, because those people have a presence in the show still.
Yeah,
they're just not the main highlight of the show.
I mean, I just think TV has come a long way, because it is hard for me to watch Saved by the Bell now, because like the audience reaction every time somebody walks in,
they have laugh tracks.
do. Every time somebody like they high five a girl, they're like doing that. It's like laugh track, all of it. I've told you. Did we talk about that the other day? I cannot handle laugh tracks in shows. Like I cannot watch a show with a laugh track.
Which takes a lot of shows out for you then.
Well,
There's a ton of shows that use it.
It doesn't take out a lot of good shows, but it does take out shows that I used to like Friends. Used to be my favorite show by far. Now it's hard for me to watch an episode because once you realize that laugh track's there, like you can't unsee it. Like you or unhear it.
Can you add some laugh track into this at some point?
No, that's going to be too much editing. Like why don't we just do a laugh track round? Ah, ooh.
It's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's solid. That was great. That's a lot better than I can edit.
Did you see in the Jimmy Fallon remake thing that they did for the show? Dude, Belding, man. Belding was looking rough, man.
He's done 8 different Saved by the Bell remakes.
I'm saying there was 2 Mr. Beldings there. He was huge. Mr. Belding was.
Oh, I don't remember him being bigger.
Huge.
I don't see weight, so sorry. It's keto. Sorry,
It's keto.
It's keto, bro. Keto, brodo.
Good
Keto
Morning,
Kayla.
Miss Bliss. Saved by the Bell. The College Years.
College Years, I really liked.
Saved by the Bell. The New Class. I don't know anything about that.
I watched it. I watched some of that. I don't remember much about
but
it.
Nobody was in that
Screech
one.
Screech was in it. Screech and Belding, and then they would do like cameos, not from some of the ones that went on to super rated R movies, but the other people did cameos.
Yeah.
And then they did like a movie like Zack and Kelly Get Married in Hawaii. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit you. Do you remember the when the show went to that where they were working at that volleyball course? Not a volleyball course.
Who is it? Remember who the actress?
Yes, it's she was from King of Queens.
Leah Remini.
Scientology documentary lady.
Yeah, she was in it. She was in it for like probably like 5 or 6 episodes. That was like
she was in long.
That was well, I'm saying that
like a season, wasn't it?
It was a long time.
Was that after they graduated high school, between high school and college? Or was it between their 11th, 12th
It could have been.
Because he, I don't know. I just feel like Zack and Kelly, and it was for the sake of the show, just because they needed to be crazy. It's like Grey's Anatomy. You've got to do some crazy stuff. But it's like, Zack and Kelly, if you step back and look at them as a real relationship, they shouldn't be together. Like, at all. Like, they were awful. Like, changing, breaking up every other episode.
Relationship advice. Tell us over.
I mean, I say any show, like Friends, Ross and Rachel shouldn't be together. It's like, but you want to because you're seeing these glimpses of their relationship that they're leading you to.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Saved by the Bell. We should make a Saved by the Bell dating advice.
30 years, man. That's a long time ago.
30 years. How old are you?
When it came out,
3.
I was 2.
3?
2. I was born in 87.
Yeah, I was born in 85, so I was 5 when it came out. Was it started in 90? Miss Bliss?
89. Miss
Bliss
was
was
89.
I didn't even know Miss Bliss was that season 1 until like 2 years ago. And I feel like I'd seen they didn't show reruns of it. When they showed reruns of Saved by the Bell, when I wake up in the morning, it was like you saw seasons 2 through 5, 4, 5, whatever. They never showed Miss Bliss reruns. Mm-hmm. I don't know where you could find that or if they've hidden it, but like they buried it.
Yeah.
And because they were like, this is not our show, and we don't want people to lose interest or think that the show's changed. Because you could bounce into didn't matter if they were freshmen to seniors, you could bounce in and see it. Okay, I got one for you. I have always noticed with TV shows that take off, they become popular, there is a short lifespan. So like Grey's Anatomy, it's been going for 14 years? It's because
didn't know it was still going.
Yeah, it's still going. I don't watch it, but I did for several seasons. But they can keep going because there's a reason for all those people to still kind of be around, even though there's only a couple of the originals. The problem with shows that start when they're in like high school is people graduate high school, and usually they move away. And like if they all stay in their hometown, it's like it takes on a way different version of the show, and it's like they can't stay in high school for 8 years.
Well,
so
that's when Boy Meets World ended too.
Yeah,
after college. Because
after college,
what do you do?
Like,
Eric is hilarious. Plays with squirrels. He can't still hang around because he's older than them. And he's graduated.
Creepy. Yeah, and it's like if you use that in the real world, it's like it just looks weird. It doesn't play well to the real world. If people keep coming back to high school and hanging out. When was the last time you went to your high school and looked around?
Do you think a show, like, what do you think a lifespan of a show should be? I don't think, it's like an athlete. Like, you want to end well. Like, you want to end strong. You don't want to be like, all right, guys, hey, guys, the show's getting a little rough. It's getting a little old. It's like you want to, like,
I think it depends on the show. Like, these shows that are, like, relationship-oriented, where that drives the show. Like, oh, are Zack and Kelly going to be together? Like, I think those have a lifespan because it's eventually, like, they need to get together. They need to be married. They need to move on, have kids. But, like, shows like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, that's a great show. It's been going 13 seasons. And it's because they're not, like, they never like you could jump into any episode and it's going to be a great standalone episode.
Yeah.
And it's as opposed to like
same as The Office, right? I mean,
The Office you could bounce in. Now
there's no timeline to be like, this is getting weird because they're getting older, and like the whole idea of the show is that they're in school, and it's like, well, no, they're not. What is going on? Yeah, I think so. And because the first time I really noticed it was when I watched Friday Night Lights. So they started the show, and I think when they started the show, my wife loves that show.
It was a great show. It was a great, lovely show. I loved it a lot. But I think when they started the show, everyone was supposed to be a senior. Well, when the show took off, and like a few episodes in, they realized, oh my goodness, in 1 year we all have a show. Like all these people are going to have to move off, go to college. So what they did, and this is Tyler's opinion, what they did was they took every single person that had said out loud, like, I'm a sophomore, I'm a 10th grader, they made them that year. Anybody that it had not been defined, they shoved back as far as they could. So, like, everybody, like Jason Street, he's like, I'm a senior quarterback, I've been a star quarterback for 3 years. Well, Tim Riggins was his best friend. Tim Riggins looks like he's 25. And they were like, oh no, let's make him a 10th grader. Like they did. They straight up pushed them all back as far as they could.
And then just started, like, sprinkling in, like, well,
I'm a 9th grader.
Well, I got 2 more years of this, man. You know, I just gotta keep learning.
Yep, and then you're like, why were you, as a senior, hanging out with your best friend as a 10th grader, and he looks 5 years older than you?
He saw an opportunity to
stay on the show.
No, he saw an opportunity to build up a younger guy. You know, take him under his
That's
wing.
what it was. He was a mentor. Jason Street was a mentor to Tim Riggins.
Be the person you needed to be.
Be the haircut you want to see in the world.
Be the person that you needed when you were 12, 10th grade, senior.
That's good, man. I'm glad. I like how we brought this all around. Brought it all down to Chinatown.
I love Saved by the Bell. Happy birthday anniversary, Saved by the Bell.
Hey, time out. Hey, guys. This is Tyler. Welcome to the Tyler Tarver Podcast Hour. I just take over.
I thought you were going to be like, hey guys, subscribe to me. Don't watch this.
Don't watch it. I know. If I really did freeze time, I'd take your phone. I'm changing your retro Rick to Tyler Tarver, swapping my names out, stealing all your followers. Hashtag swipe up the movie.
Who's this guy? Dude, I remember, I used to follow this 90s account. It was so good.
Now some dude posting about education and
out of nowhere, it started being like cat videos and then something else. And then...
Why do I have cat videos?
Then I was like... Hey, what happened to the... I can't remember. It was like 90s...
Retro undie rig.
90s are all that or something like that. And me and Ellen, my wife...
Oh, you're saying real life.
It was
I thought
real
you were doing
Instagram.
Scenario.
No, real Instagram.
Oh, I thought you were doing Scenario.
I loved it. And it was so good. And this was like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, people had not yet really gravitated to the, like, hey, I'm going to make an Instagram account that's like 90s related. Yeah. And maybe people might like it. And we loved it. And then out of nowhere, it's like cat videos. And I'm like, what is this? And then we were like, all right, get your phone. I'm going to get my phone. We're going to go through all our people and find out who this person is. And we found it out. Was like, that was it. That was the 90s person. And someone probably bought the account, I guess.
Swapped it over.
And just swapped it out. I'm like, that's so dumb. Why would people do that?
I mean, I just tried to, so I was trying to do it to your account.
Oh, that's so...
But here's the thing, though. Like, if I took your account, Retro Ricky, and then I went in... Retro Ricky Undie
If I took your little account, Retro Ricky.
I took your little swipe up account, and I went in and I changed the name, deleted all the photos, because you don't get notified when you delete photos. So I delete all your photos, add in a few of mine. They're like, and then people are like, they'll just be like, when did I start following this guy? When it pops up, the only way you could tell is if like you DM'd them, like they messaged them, and then they would see that the name changed. Like that's the only way I think that they could see it.
That's true.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Zack Morris is trash. I just love the intro.
What was the Zack Attack song?
Zack Attack. We're Zacking and attacking and attack Zacking. I don't know. I always get it mixed up with Ninja Turtle song with Vanilla Ice.
Oh, I remember it.
It's so good. Zack Attack. Friends are friends forever. Everyone.
That's full house.
Gatorade.
That's a Gatorade commercial. You're going to get us copyrighted.
And that brings us back to the present.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Thank you for joining us.
We will see you guys soon.
This is the 90s win with Rick and